It's All Gravy with Teresa. Hey guys, this is Teresa, and here we are again in Teresa's kitchen in Bowling Green, Kentucky. And yes, we're going to bake a turkey. And has always been so funny to me how people are so afraid of that when it's so simple. And hopefully we're going to make a good juicy turkey with plenty of broth left for us to make giblet gravy. And we're also going to show you how to do that. And just a little bit first about the turkeys. I bought a butterball because that's all that they had that was thawed out. Usually I would not buy a name brand. If you want to do that, that's fine, but any brand is good of the turkeys. Just if you buy a frozen turkey, it will need to thaw out in the refrigerator for at least 3 days. And depending on the size, it may take 4 days. And we'll talk a little bit about the size for a minute. It is suggested when you're catering or when you're making food, when you're doing the meat, you want to, especially turkey, you want to do about a pound per person, a pound per person. And that's a good rule of thumb. So I've got a 10-pound turkey here, and we usually have around 8 people. And Clint and his significant other, Tristan, will be coming. So that put us at 10. So we got a 10-pound turkey. And what I'm going to do with mine, we're going to cook it today. And then I'm going to go ahead and slice it up and put it in the freezer. And then all I'll have to do on Thanksgiving is to pull it out and warm it up. So that's another, if you're trying to save time, that's something else that you can do. So we're going to go ahead and get ready with this. There's really not a great way to pick out the turkeys because they're usually already wrapped up where you can't see them. I will say when you get into the great big turkeys, I'm going to say 20 pounds or so, they're most likely going to be tough. If it was me, I would get 2 10-pounders and cook it. Only because, you know, the old saying, an old bird is a tough bird. Or maybe I just made that up.
I don't think I know that one.
But it is. And I'm going to show you how pretty and fresh this one is as we get it out of here. So I like to, my sink's already been good and clean. So I'm going to take all this off the turkey. And he's a good looking little bird. And I'm going to rinse him off a little bit. Here's his neck. And here you want to make sure you take this pouch out. This is going to be what you use for your giblet gravy. So that's usually right in the neck. And we're going to put that right back in there because that fat is going to be good for our gravy. And we're going to come over here on this other side. I'm just going to leave his legs are already through right here. Can you see that, Clint? They've already cut a space for his legs, and I'm just going to leave them like that. And here is the neck that's going to go with our giblets. So I'm going to run a little water through here, cold water, just to make sure we get all the blood off. And my mom never did do this. It's just something that I started doing because I like to make sure all that old blood's off. All right. So we got our giblets there. And I'm going to get a pan. We'll go ahead and put them on because we're going to make some giblet gravy. And the way I do mine is some of the kids won't eat the giblets out of it. So I make 2 gravies. I'll have one that have the giblets in there and one that doesn't. And I apologize for my raspy throat. You know, I did that little ulcer that I had. And I have real bad acid reflux. And so that is keeping my throat irritated. I told Clint this morning I'm down to eating just oatmeal but I eat a lot of oatmeal. So, even though I shouldn't be losing weight, I'm not. So here's the heart. And I think that is probably, there's the liver, and I guess that's the gizzards. And the neck. And we're going to boil that all up. And we will put that, we'll cut it up real small pieces. And that will be in our giblet gravy. So I'm just going to put water on that so it'll stay fresh, and we'll set it over here on the stove out of the way. So this, I like this roaster pan. It is best if you can put it in a roasting pan like this. I'm lucky to still have this one. I've had it for years. Or as long as it's a shallow pan. And they make them now that'll have a rack in it, you know, where you can pull your turkey out or your bird, whatever you're cooking. But this is what we're going to use, just the old blue fleck pan here, roasting pan. So I'm going to spray it with a little bit of Pam. Because I got fingernails now since I'm out of the restaurant. See that? Ooh. Okay. So here goes our turkey. And we're going to put him in here. Just like that. Breast side up. Breast side up. And we have got in here, I've got two, I'm probably going to put it in a little bigger bowl so I can stir it up. I'm sorry, honey. I've got 2 tablespoons of salt and 2 tablespoons of pepper. Just plain table salt and plain pepper. I got that mixed up real good. And this will be enough till I get one open. I really wasn't ready at all, Clint. Even though I said I was, I am not. I'm going to put right here on the top, the skin of this, I'm going to put some olive oil.
Maybe.
Maybe. It's another thing about getting old. You can't open things. There we go. A towel here. So I like to put olive oil over the top of it. And then I'm going to rub that salt and pepper inside and outside of the bird. So just drizzle on there. And I'm going to say it's probably going to be about 1/3 of a cup. Just a good drizzle. And then I'm going to take this salt and pepper. And this is kind of a little bit messy, but it makes it good. And I am going to rub it on the inside. And I'm going to rub it on his legs. Rub it on his breast. His leg. His wings. Some more on his wings. And this, again, this is one of those recipes you can adjust to how you want it. You may not like that much salt. You may not like that much pepper, but this really gives the bird a good flavor. So we got that all on there. And you know me and butter. I'm going to take this stick of butter, which would be 1/2 of a cup. No, it'd be a whole cup. A whole cup of butter. And I'm going to cut this up into slices. And I'm going to put it inside the bird. I'm going to put it in between the legs, in between the wings, in his neck hole, and in the back part here. I'm not stuffing him. I'm putting a little butter in him. You thought I was going to say something else, didn't you? So just cut that in little chunks. put it right there in his wing, right there by his leg, there by his leg, his wing. Put about 3 of them back here in his neck. And like I said, you can cut this fat off, but I like to leave it because it just makes more broth for your gravy. And then this, I'm going to put them just a few at a time up in there, in his cavity. We're going to put them in his cavity. And there, we're going to put one right there under his leg. And under his leg, right there in that skin where they've got them hooked together. And then we're going to put this one just right on top. Like that. All right. Now we're going to add 4 cups of water. And that's because I told you earlier that we're going to make 2 different gravies. We're going to make one with the giblets and one without. So I'm going to add 4 cups of water and just add that into the bottom of the pan. And then I'm going to loosely put Reynolds wrap over the top of this. So I'm just going to put it on like this. And then I'm going to put my lid on. We're going to put it in the oven for 3 hours. That's for a 10-pound turkey. So again, about 20 minutes per pound. So we're going to put it in here, and then the last 30 minutes, so at, it usually takes 3.5 hours is what it should take. So at 3 hours, we're going to take this out, uncover it, and I'm going to take just I don't have a basting brush. I just take part of a stick of butter, like this. I'll just take part of this, open this, and then I'm going to rub it on top of the turkey, and I'm going to sprinkle a little seasoned salt on it. And we'll go through all that stuff here when we get there. But we're going to set it now for 3 hours. How many minutes did we say that was? I can do it like this. 3, no, that's 3 minutes.
It's 180 minutes for 3 hours.
Okay. That's what happens when you send your kids to college. So we got to cancel that. We're going to 325. We want 325. And then we're going to set our time for 180. That's what we're doing. So it's going to be in there and it's going to cook. We're going to be back in just a little bit and take it out, put butter on it and some seasoned salt. I'm going to see y'all in a few hours. Thank you. Hey guys, we are back and our turkey has been cooking about 3 hours. It absolutely looks beautiful. We've got plenty of broth and drippings down there we're going to be able to use. And I am going to take just my stick of butter and I'm going to just rub it on the top of this. Get my legs good. And then the little bit of tip of this that I have to cut off, I will, excuse Fred, I will put into my giblet gravy. So we're going to sprinkle a little bit of seasoned salt, just barely coated on the top. Not even coated, just a thin sprinkle. And then we're going to put it no cover. We're going to put it back in the oven for 25 to 30 minutes. So it'll brown up good. And we'll be back in just a few minutes. Thank you all. All right, guys, our turkey is out of the oven. We took the last 20-30 minutes. We put butter on top of it and Lowry seasoned salt just lightly over the top of it. And it turned out beautiful. I think Clint has showed you a picture of it. And now we're going to make homemade giblet gravy. This is the drippings off of our turkey. And I haven't added anything to that other than just the end off the butter that I use to glaze the turkey. And in this I have 1/4 cup of flour and 1 cup of water. You have to make sure that this is boiling really good. And then we're just going to add it in here until it thickens up. And that's all you have to do to get homemade turkey gravy. And at this point, you would add your giblets if you wanted to. And we've got those cut up over here on the side. That's what came out of our giblet pack. That's the neck, the heart, the liver, and the gizzard, I guess. And that's it, just to show you how beautiful it looks. I'll go ahead and add these. So you want to cut them up just as fine as you can get them. And then you just add them in. And that gives it really a good flavor. Get it stirred up good, and then I'll show you in a ladle how pretty it looks. So just like that, a very easy, I can't say quick, but your turkey has to cook. But a simple, easy recipe for your Thanksgiving dinner. Let me get a ladle and just show you. I'll use this little clear one so you can see how pretty it looks. And if you wanted to make this a little thicker, you would just add a little more flour and water. I don't like mine real thick because after it sets for a minute, it'll kind of get congealed. So I like to make anything like this a little bit on the thin side, so by the time you're serving it, it's just right. So there's that. I want to tell you all thank you so very much. I hope you can use some of these recipes for your Thanksgiving dinner. Clint and I are going to try to do the butterscotch pie, and that will also be posted this weekend. Or is that when you're going to do it, Clint?
I think I might do it Wednesday.
Maybe Wednesday next week is when the pie will be posted. So just a quick little tip on when you're getting ready to carve your turkey. And this one's not really been, it's not been set out long enough. But my wings fell off whenever I took this out. So the wings are already detached on both sides. And then you want to cut your legs off. And you go ahead and cut it all the way through. Like that. And when you move these out of the way, you'll be able to cut this off here and get your leg if you got somebody that likes to eat the legs. And then on this, you're going to start right here and just make good little thin slices. And like I said, this is really too hot to do. But you do it just like that, all the way up, and do the same thing on the other side. Remember, take your wings off and take your legs off, and then you slice the breast and the thigh, you slice that together. So, another thing that's not near as scary as we always think it is. thank you all. I wanted to thank you for the birthday wishes. Just always so humbled and just blown out of the water at how many people will say happy birthday to me. And the coolest thing is most of the people, I know who they are. I have a story. I can see their face. The neat thing about the It's All Gravy birthdays, there's a lot of people that I actually did not know their faces. So that has been a joy, and I've actually been peeking a little bit to look at you and see who you are. So again, thank you all so very much for all that you do for us, the likes, the shares. I hope that we are giving you some good homemade recipes that are most of them from scratch. We're trying to learn how to live intentional and not waste things, purposefully. We're trying to live without wasting stuff. And use what we have. Mm-hmm. That's what I was trying to say.
Intentionally, right?
Intentionally, that was the wrong word. But if you, there's one little item you don't have, there's usually something in your pantry you can substitute it with. So we're all about trying to do that. And these recipes are basic. So you try it this way, and then you add whatever you want to it for your Thanksgiving dinner or for whatever we're making. Patreon is still there if you'll take a look at that. Facebook is doing great. We're almost to 2,000 and we'll give away a shirt. We do have shirts. If you contact us, my daughter-in-law and my granddaughter are doing those. And YouTube. We've, what'd you say today, Clint?
About 115, I believe. About
115. So we're a long ways from 1,000, but we're going to get there. Again, thank you all so much. And I never want to forget who has given me the ability to stand up and the ability to be able to do all the things that I've done in my life. So just a shout out to God. And this is my little today book that I go back to pretty often. Today, I will deplete the envy reservoir in my life. I will maintain the proper balance in my life. And anybody who knows me, that's a chore for me to find balance. I'm still working on that. I will return a borrowed item with interest. I will awaken with a thankful heart. I will give my undivided attention when someone speaks to me. How many of us are just nodding our heads and having no idea what people are saying to us? So I'm practicing that also. I will wash my hands of anything that's reeking of deceit. I will believe that God will give me the desires of my heart, and I do believe that. He already has. My children are beautiful adults, and my grandchildren are growing into beautiful adults. I will harbor fresh goodwill towards others instead of aging grudges. I will muster enough resources to be energetic. I will strive to reach the potential that God had in mind when He created me. So, you all please enjoy your families. If you're social distancing, I hope the weather will be good. Don't forget your loved ones. If you don't get to go spend time with them, please call them or take them a plate. Anything to let them know that you're still family and that you still love them and think of them. And I think that's it for me today. I love you guys. Happy Thanksgiving and God bless.